All right, stopping by tonight is a wrestler who is taking the Northeast by storm and quite possibly the reason you're not a vegetarian. He is Big Bacon Brad Hollister. Brad, thanks so much for joining us.
The man in the hizzle that makes it sizzles in the building, Big Bacon Brad Hollister. Thrilled to be here with you here tonight.
Thanks so much, man. Yo, let me tell you this. I first saw you at a Northeast wrestling show probably sometime at the end of last year or whatnot. Now, I didn't know who you were, no offense, but when you came out, man, the music, the bacon, I knew you had it. I mean, you could walk the walk and you could talk the talk. But if we could go back a little bit, can you just tell us how you got into this crazy world of pro wrestling? What was that one thing that clicked in your head that said, I have to do this. I have to be a pro wrestler?
Everyone has they're like, oh, this is my guy. This is the reason I got into professional wrestling. Mine is probably the strangest of anybody. I always say Jonathan Coachman is the reason I wanted to be a pro wrestler. And I'll explain.
All right.
So when I first really got into it, because there was a period when I was younger, really young, I watched it, Attitude Era, but not much I could really remember. I was really young at that point. Mm-hmm. But getting into 2005, 2006, I became a huge fan, really into it every single night. So, I was watching it one time. The Heartthrobs came out, and Jonathan Coachman just started saying, oh, I love these guys. I party with these guys. They're the best. And I always like to go against the grain, go with the bad guys. Uh-huh. So I always loved the Coach because everyone hated him. Because there was Lawler and the King, JR and the King. So everyone hated the Coach because why is he with him? Why is he with him? So it just made me love the Coach. So he was just loving the Heartthrobs. And when they got released, Antonio Thomas did an interview with, I can't remember what website it was, but I ended up going on to it, and he said he trained in the Springfield, Mass area, and that's where I'm from. So I was like, oh my God, I had no idea there was a school around here. I was only 15 at the time, and from there I just got into pro wrestling.
Well, there you go. So, speaking of Antonio Thomas, though, that's the guy you trained with. That's who got you, just into that world, right?
Oh, absolutely. One thing, Tom is an awesome trainer. He is the ultimate little guy thing. He wants to nitpick every little thing in the match, which I love because I'm one of those after a match I'm oh, I like that, it's good. And then I'll watch it back and I'll pick apart every little detail about it, and that's really straight from him. He likes really old school wrestling, so sometimes I'll show him my matches nowadays, and he doesn't really like the fact that I'm tossing everybody around. But he's the ultimate technician kind of guy, and I wouldn't have it any other way because at the end of the day, if anything goes down in the ring, that's what you got to go back to. It's got to go back right down to the mat because at the end of the day, it's wrestling.
Sure. Now, did you do any sports in high school too? Were you into amateur wrestling or football or any of that?
Yeah, so I did amateur wrestling from the age of 6. State champion youth, sectional champion in high school. My senior year when I won the sectionals, I actually won it with a torn ACL, which gets me back to one of my idols in wrestling, Kurt Angle. Won the gold medal with the broken frickin' neck. Well, I won the Western Mass Championship with a torn frickin' ACL. And
that's a new shirt right there, I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm telling you. I always said I wanted to get that involved somehow in the bacon, but I got to find a good avenue to get it in there. But yeah, so amateur wrestling did my whole life. Football, I was all sectional my senior year, also with a torn ACL. That happened right before the season started. And played that my whole entire life. My youth team, which I hate being the guy that talks about youth sports because I always hate those adults, but I lost one youth game my entire life, and it was my first game ever, and then never lost one since. My youth teams were just stacked. By the time my senior year of high school, the all-sectional team, I believe there was 24 spots, and out of the 24 spots, I think we had 17 or 18 come from my youth organization. So success was instilled at me at such a young age.
Wow. Now, do you ever get compared to other wrestlers? Because from the outside looking in, you remind me of a more in shape Taz. I mean, you look like the human suplex machine. Maybe with a little bit of Brock Lesnar in there. But do you ever get compared to anybody else? I mean, to me, I don't know. You look like the modern day ECW Taz version a little bit. But like I said, more of an in shape Taz though.
So, thank you very much. I'm a Big Bacon guy. I work hard in the gym. Keep it greasy. But yeah, I get Taz sometimes. I do, which I hate because when I was younger, I hated Taz. Looking back, I do see a lot of Taz though, and I do like Taz now at the adult age. But when I was younger, couldn't stand him. I was like, who's this little guy? Everybody around. So yeah, I get a lot of Taz. When I first started wrestling, everyone around here, they call me Brock thing too. Angle a little bit because of the amateur wrestling, especially, when I'm in the good moods and I come out slapping the fans' hands. Those are the times I really break out a lot of the amateur wrestling stuff. Sure.
All right, now, Big Bacon. I mean, when did it come to your mind that, you had to incorporate bacon into the wrestling? I mean, I know we all need a gimmick. You guys all need a gimmick or something, but I mean, I thought it was genius. Like I said, when I first saw you at Northeast Wrestling, I was like, I don't know this guy yet, but I've already love him. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things. I know it just clicks, but I don't know what was the day that you were like
bacon?
Exactly. Was there a day that it just was like, wow, I this is what I'm doing?
Gotta have a slice. So, yeah, when I first got into Top Rope Promotions, we did this little thing where Ryan Waters had Team Waters. And that was actually the first night I met TK O'Ryan. Instantly became one of my best friends in the business. Now I hate his guts. I hate that horseman. But, yeah, so we did a little in-ring deal where Ryan Waters was introducing everyone. He was giving everyone the credentials of this new Team Waters. You had TK O'Ryan, Division I baseball player. You had Justin the Hammer Tunis, like very, very established amateur wrestler. And then there was me, another very established amateur wrestler, very good football player. And when Ryan Waters gave my introduction, for some reason he opened it with the line of, "This big slab piece of American bacon." And from then on, we kind of chuckled at it. And then from then on, TK would just constantly call me Big Bacon for everything. Like, "Oh, Bacon, come over here. Big Bacon over there." So one day we're in the ring, and I gave someone a suplex. And just to kind of make, TK laugh in the ring, I look at him, I go, "Bacon, baby!" and we kind of just both started laughing in the middle of the ring. So from then on, I just kept saying it during the matches, and it just kind of stuck, and then it became my whole deal.
I love it, man.
Half my match, I say that all the time, half my match is me saying bacon.
Hey, it's golden. Keep it. I love it. So tell me, you got to Northeast Wrestling. How has your time been at Northeast Wrestling? I mean, because especially with the Bethany crowd, it's like a whole different world over there. I mean, the fans in that building make it seem so much more surreal. But just working with Northeast Wrestling, tell us a little bit about your time wrestling for them.
Dude, okay, honestly, when I first walked in there's a big lore because, it's a very established place. A lot of guys want to work there. So when I first walked in, I'm like a guy who's never nervous. 3 seconds left in the game, I want the ball. I'm one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Super nervous. I do a lot. Super nervous. So I get in there and the production's top notch, and I look around the locker room, everyone looks like athletes, and I'm like, dude, I want to be. This is where it's at because I just see the trajectory of wrestling, and I love all the shows I do around here and stuff. But there, it's just a whole new atmosphere where you have the pressure to really perform because it's such an elite spot to have to be on the NEW roster. So just me getting in there and I feel like I established having a spot there for the long term now. It's one of the coolest things I've done in wrestling.
Friday night, Spring Slam in Newburgh, New York. Your opponent is going to be Bill Carr. Have you guys ever met in the squared circle? Have you ever wrestled Bill Carr before? And what can the fans expect? What can the New York fans expect from you at Spring Slam in Newburgh?
I never met him on the round globe, to be honest. Yeah, so I didn't really know much about him, and then I seen that this was the match. So I basically did my research, and I was like, "Oh, this guy can go." So I'm really excited. I feel like we're going to tear it up. I'm very excited to wrestle in New York again. That's another thing, NEW. I always wanted to wrestle in New York, and I got that opportunity with them. And I'm getting another opportunity on Friday. So I can't wait to absolutely tear it up, steal the show, do what I do best, and yell bacon a lot and throw big men around.
I'll tell you, the crowd's probably going to go nuts if you get Bill Carr over your head and suplex him. That's going to be a moment, definitely, if that happens. But, Big Bacon...
I think the last guy I wrestled at NEW, I think he was a 400-pounder.
Oh, yeah, I remember it.
I bought Bill Carr. I'd say he's around 350. You know what I mean? So I think I can get him.
There you go. Well, Big Bacon, where can the fans keep up with you in this whole social media world if they want to find you online?
Follow me on Twitter at B_Rad Hollister, because I be Rad and the last name is Hollister. You can find me on Facebook. I don't know if my fan page is up, but you could definitely add me. I do have the Big Bacon store, freewebstore.org/bigbacon. Can't remember. Oh, Instagram's also B_Rad Hollister, because again, I be Rad and the last name is Hollister.
There you go. Well, Big Bacon Brad Hollister, this is just the beginning. We thank you so much. I'm sure we'd love to get you on back again down the line, and we can't wait to see you at Spring Slam for Northeast Wrestling.
Again, very excited. Hope to see you guys there, and I hope all these New York fans are ready to get a big slice of bacon slapping them in the face.